That voice analyzing every conversation, weighing every decision, judging every outcome. It's not actually you thinking, it's weakness pretending to be wisdom. What if real strength meant something completely different than what we've been taught? We live with this constant mental commentary, this voice that never stops evaluating. It feels so helpful, so protective. After all, it's keeping track of who might hurt us, what might go wrong, where we're falling short. It seems like our greatest ally in navigating a complicated world. But here's what we're about to discover. True strength comes from a light within us that has nothing to do with our analyzing brain or watchful eyes. When we recognize that weakness, not strength, is what drives our judgments, comparisons, and fears, we can begin to see through the eyes of strength, which overlooks appearances and perceives the light in everything. Let me paint you a picture. You're in a meeting where your colleague takes credit for your idea. Before they've even finished their sentence, your mind explodes into action. They always do this. I'm too weak to speak up. Everyone thinks I'm incompetent. Maybe I should start looking for a new job. But what if I can't find one? What if this is as good as it gets? Feel that, the racing thoughts, the tightness in your chest, the heat rising to your face. Your mind is working overtime, building a case, gathering evidence, preparing defenses. It feels like you're being smart, strategic, prepared. This voice seems so reasonable, so protective, but watch what it's actually doing. It's not helping you respond effectively to what just happened. It's creating an entire universe of problems that don't even exist yet. You're not just dealing with one colleague and one comment anymore. Now you're battling your entire career history, your self-worth, your future prospects. Imagine you've been trying to light a room with a flickering phone flashlight, squinting to make out shapes in the shadows, when the whole time there's been a light switch on the wall. The room was never dark, you were just using the wrong light source. Your analyzing, worrying mind is the phone flashlight. God's strength in you is the overhead light that's been there all along. We've become so accustomed to navigating by this weak, flickering light that we don't even question it anymore. We think the strain, the squinting, the constant adjustment is just how life works. We grip that phone tighter, download apps to make the flashlight brighter, compare our flashlight to other people's flashlights. Meanwhile, there's this steady, constant light available to us that would illuminate everything effortlessly. Here's the shocking truth. What we call thinking, this endless analysis, comparison, and judgment, is actually weakness masquerading as insight. Real strength doesn't need to figure everything out. It doesn't need to defend, attack, or prove anything. It sees clearly without the static of self-judgment. Think about the last time you were in that analyzing spiral. Maybe someone didn't text you back, and your mind started its routine. They're upset with me. What did I do? Was it that comment I made last week? They probably think I'm too needy. I should give them space. But what if they think I don't care? Maybe I should reach out. But then I'll seem desperate. Notice how each thought feels like it's protecting you, helping you navigate the situation. But look closer. Every single one of those thoughts is rooted in fear. Every analysis assumes threat. Every conclusion leads to more anxiety. This isn't wisdom. It's weakness pretending to be your advisor, keeping you small and defensive. Now let's return to that meeting room. Same colleague, same credit taking, but this time you're seeing with strength instead of weakness. The words are spoken, but something's different. You're not scrambling for your mental flashlight. You're resting in that overhead light that's always been there. From this place, you see so clearly. Maybe your colleague is insecure and needs recognition. Maybe they genuinely forgot it was your idea. Maybe it doesn't matter who gets credit because the idea itself is serving its purpose. You might still choose to clarify the situation, but you do it from a place of clarity, not desperation. You'd speak because it serves the work, not because you need to defend your worth. The difference is staggering. When you stop trying to figure everything out with your anxious, analyzing mind and instead rest in the quiet strength that's already there, you begin to see situations without the filter of judgment. Suddenly, what seemed overwhelming becomes workable. What seemed like an attack becomes a neutral event. What seemed like a crisis becomes a simple moment requiring a simple response. Here's what happens when you finally flip that switch and see by the overhead light instead of your flickering flashlight. The relief is immediate and profound. You realize how exhausting it's been, trying to illuminate your entire life with that weak, unstable beam. You see how much energy you've wasted on problems that only existed in the shadows your flashlight created. Strength doesn't strain. It doesn't analyze every micro-expression, doesn't catalog every possible threat, doesn't rehearse every conversation 3 times before it happens. Strength simply sees. And in that clear seeing, the right response emerges naturally. Sometimes it's speaking up. Sometimes it's staying quiet. Sometimes it's taking action. Sometimes it's waiting. But whatever emerges comes from clarity, not from the frantic calculations of a mind trying to protect itself from imaginary dangers. This strength isn't something you need to develop or earn. It's already there, waiting quietly beneath the mental noise. Every time you notice yourself in that analyzing spiral and choose to pause, to breathe, to question whether this mental activity is actually helping, you're choosing strength over weakness. You're reaching for the light switch instead of gripping your flashlight tighter. The beautiful truth is this: you don't have to figure everything out. You don't have to anticipate every problem, defend against every threat, prove your worth in every interaction. That exhausting vigilance isn't wisdom. It's the very thing keeping you from seeing clearly. Real strength sees past the shadows to the light that's always been there, in you and in everyone else. And from that seeing, right action flows naturally, without strain, without fear, without the endless mental calculations that have worn you down for so long. Before we move into the meditation, if this is helping you, you're welcome to like the video and subscribe. It's a simple way to keep practicing together. Let yourself settle into this moment. Feel your body finding its natural position, whether sitting or lying down. No need to arrange yourself perfectly. Just let comfort find you. Notice your breath moving without any help from that analyzing mind. In and out, steady and sure. It knows exactly what to do without a single thought from you. Feel where your body meets the surface beneath you. That simple contact, that easy support. You don't have to figure out how to be supported. It's already happening. If you notice thoughts arising, evaluations, plans, worries, just see them for what they are. Little flashlight beams flickering in the vastness. You don't need to follow them. You don't need to fix them. Let them flicker and fade. Rest your attention now on the space behind your closed eyes, not trying to see anything. Just noticing the soft darkness there. This isn't the darkness of confusion or fear. This is the restful darkness that comes before sight. In this quiet space, you might sense something else present. A steadiness. A knowing that needs no thought. The overhead light that's always been there. Waiting. You don't have to find it or turn it on. Just notice that it's already here. Feel how different this is from the mental scrambling you know so well. No urgency here. No problems to solve. No threats to assess. Just this quiet strength that sees without strain. Let yourself rest in this for a moment. The part of you that sees clearly without analyzing. The part that knows without figuring out. The strength that's always been here, underneath all that mental noise. When you're ready, let your eyes gently open. Notice how the world looks when seen from this quieter place. The same room, the same life, but somehow clearer. Simpler, more workable. Carry this with you, this knowing that strength isn't in the frantic mental activity but in the quiet seeing that lies beneath. You can return here anytime. The light switch is always within reach. Thank you for practicing with us today. If you'd like, there's a link to a free digital copy of ACIM in the description. And if this video resonated with you, please comment. I am grateful. Thank you for spending this time with us today. Remember, that analyzing voice will return. It's had a lot of practice. But now you know what it really is. And you know there's another way to see. Be gentle with yourself as you practice choosing strength over the exhausting mental chatter. Until next time, may you rest in the light that's already yours.